Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Motivational Monday, where each one teach one. Philia will be joining us shortly. How are you guys doing today? I hope everyone is doing fantastic.
Tell them, update them, it's 2 a.m.
Father, I humbly come to you today, giving you all that I am. I praise you for who you are, victorious in all what you do. We bow down humbly before you on your throne of grace in complete adoration. I have faith that you will light our paths and lead us to where we need to be. Thank you for fulfilling every desires of our heart. Mold us and shape us into your image. Remove anything from our lives that is displeasing to you, so that everything we do bring glory and honor to you. In Jesus' precious name, amen. Okay, guys, I am in Naples, Italy right now on location. It is 2:03 a.m. in the morning. Yes, it's time difference. I know you guys, and it's Tuesday morning here, but it's nighttime for you guys there. But anyhow, you know I deliver. So I want to shout out if you have a birthday today. I see Celeste Hanson have a birthday. Happy birthday, Celeste. Jolene, happy birthday to you. Charlene, happy birthday also. And to my great nephew, Legend. And I want to say RIP to my brother to continue sleeping in peace. I lost a brother on this day, Sheldon Worrell. May he continue to rest, keep on resting. All right. I have a health tip for you guys. I just want to talk. I know a lot of us experience this, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it today. So, we're going to talk a little bit about belching, gas, and bloating tips for reducing them. Belching gas and bloating can be embarrassing and uncomfortable. Here's what causes these signs and symptoms and how you can minimize them. Belching or passing gas, also called flatus, is natural and common. Excessive belching or flatus, along with bloating, pain, or swelling of the belly, can sometimes interfere with daily activities and cause of embarrassment. But these symptoms usually don't point to serious underlying conditions and are often reduced with simple lifestyle changes. When belching, gas, or bloating interferes with your daily activities, there may be something wrong. Find out how to reduce or avoid gas or gas pain and when you may need to see a healthcare professional. Belching is commonly known as burping. It's your body's way of pushing out excess air from your upper digestive tract. Most belching is caused by swallowing excessive air. This air most often never even reaches the stomach instead. It builds up in the esophagus. You may swallow excessive air if you eat or drink too fast, talk while you eat, chew gum, suck on hard candies, drink carbohydrates beverages, or smoke. Some people swallow air as a nervous habit even when they are not eating or drinking. Acid reflux or gastroenterous reflux disease, GERD, can sometimes cause excessive belching by prompting increased swelling. Belching also may be related to inflammatory of the stomach lining or an infection with the Helicobacter purpura, the bacterium responds from some stomach ulcers. In this case, the belching is accompanied by other symptoms such as heartburn or stomach pain. You can reduce belching if you eat and drink slowly. Taking your time helps you swallow less air. Try to make meals relax. Occasion eating when you are stressed or on the run increase the air you swallow. Don't drink carbohydrates, drink and beer. They release carbon dioxide gases. Skip gum and hard candy. When you chew gum or suck on hard candy, you swallow more often than normal. Part of what you are swallowing is air. Don't smoke. When you inhale smoke, you also inhale and swallow air. Check your dentures. Poorly fitting dentures can cause you to swallow excess air when you eat and drink. Get moving. It may help to take a short walk after eating. Treat heartburn. For occasional mild heartburn, over the counter antacids or other remedies may help. It requires prescription strength medication or other treatments. This is some help tips here. I know we sometimes wonder why people just sometimes burp and pass gases, but you see the reaction to some of these. So I think Philia is ready now. We're going to bring her back on. She will have the word of the day.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, let me get you the word of the day. I'm sorry, I'm coming from a school site, but the
No
word
problem.
of the day is intransigent. Intransigent is a formal word that describes a person who refuses to compromise or abandon an often extreme position or attitude. Intransigent.
In transition. Wow. Um, are we talking about Donald Trump here?
I know. Sounds very, very, very close, right? Once I was reading it, I kept seeing his face.
Yes. That's a
Oh,
good
man.
one, though.
Yes. Okay.
We want to say thank you for you guys that are locked on tonight. We do have a special guest who's going to come on a bit later on.
hmm
Um, Philia, what is the update on voting? What we have this week?
Okay. Well, I know that some people may have been receiving their voter registrations in the mail and also their voting cards. So if you are not willing to stand on the long lines, there is actually a website that you can go to that will provide you with that voting. It's like a voting form. So you can actually cast your ballot and be able to mail it, and your vote will still count.
Yes, and we want to say, guys, you go out there and make that right decision. We all have
hmm
choices, hoping that we make the right choice, what is good for us and our families. We're not going out there to tell you guys who to vote for, but you know who we representing here on this program. And we just want you guys to just go out there and make the right choice, right?
Absolutely. Very important.
Very,
And, I think that sometimes the long lines are a deterrent.
yeah.
So I think because of that, I think this is a good option for people who want to try something differently.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you know, that's
Let me
why they have
cancel it
early voting
because it
registration
keeps
for
going
those
up.
that,
Let me cancel it and do it
don't want
again.
to go
Cancel it.
into the lines and different things like that.
I'm going to cancel
So,
it because it shouldn't be going up.
yeah. Julia? Yeah. So, we want to say go out there and just make your right choice, guys. So, how you guys doing this week? Hope everybody is okay. So my next guest, I want to bring her on in a little bit, and I just want to read. I don't think Philia has the time to read it, so it had a great article about her. in the Guardian newspaper in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, her name is Claudette Stewart, and she is a breast cancer survivor. I want to read part of the article because it's a long article, and if you guys get a chance, I would like you guys to go and read it. So, Claudette Stewart experience with cancer proves that having a second opinion is very important in dealing with one's health. At first, when she discovered the cystitis, she was told by the doctor that it was nothing. Don't interfere with it. Nobody will cut that. Even when both breasts had the cystitis, the liquid came out of one breast. When squeezed, he said, I will tell you what. I would tell my own daughter, leave it alone. Her husband worked at Petrotrin at the time. Her doctor was at the Augustus Long Hospital on the plant. Every 3 months, she would let him examine her breast since initially discovery, but she had a gut feeling to get a second opinion. She went to the woman clinic also on the side. The now 55-year-old described her 43-year-old self when she was diagnosed as a mother of two, a daughter, aunt, friend, very attractive, also involved in something. I was also occupied, a very busy person, very healthy, she added. Before being diagnosed, life was good, still is good, unlike other cases. Claudette's family did not have cancer, not that I knew of. Probably a great-great-grandmother or something, but nobody from my immediate family, not my dad, not my mom, not my aunt, nor sister. She recounted. I told the nurse I was due for a pap smear because I knew to do pap smear, they would do a full examination, including a breast examination. It only female doctor in the woman's clinic, so I would get a different opinion. When that female doctor felt the cyst, she was alarmed. She immediately sent me to a mammogram and an ultrasound. The test confirmed to her that it was not a normal cyst. A normal cyst would be smooth and round. The next step was a biopsy. That was arranged immediately. The biopsy came back positive for breast cancer. Upon reading the result, that doctor called her husband so they could be both appraised of the situation together. A prize. This year, the theme for Breast Cancer Awareness Month is No One Should Face Cancer Alone. Love that theme. The doctor partnered with her to find the best route forward. The cancer surgeon gave guidance and her husband provided the support she needed. I want to read this part about her husband because I think when you're going through this, a lot of people need support which they don't have. I found out about my wife's situation via a phone call, her husband said, which didn't process properly in my mind. It was normal working day when I received the call. I was lost for words when I heard the test result. I didn't know what to say or do. That feeling just cannot be explained. It was the last thing I was expecting. Claudette added, for me, I didn't even get the time to process or soak it in. I was just listening to my doctor. One thing I remembered when we were leaving there after the diagnosis, I sat down in the car and started to cry. But soon stopped and said, Lord Jesus, this what they give me to deal with, I can deal with this. You have to deal with this for me. I wiped my tears, and up to this day, through everything, I never shed another tear. He dealt with it. I did 6 cycles of chemo and had no side effects from the chemo. My hair never fell off and I never vomited, nor a bad feeling. All the negative effects you hear people talk about, I got none. When given the news to her mom, who has since passed away. She considered that she was hypertensive and diabetic. She was the last to know, and I delivered that news to her and others in a calm and reassuring manner, knowing that there would be no spreading gave me comfort as well. I'm going to bring Claudette on now, and I think this story could relate to a lot of people, and we just want to keep, the awareness alive. Uh, Hold on. Claudette, you there? Claudette? Claudette?
I don't think she's on yet, but I
Okay.
do want to commend her strength. I think in that last paragraph you mentioned that, she did not shed a tear again, but I think that's that internal strength to show that she was going to fight, no matter what, at all means, by any means necessary. And I think that when it comes to, cancer specifically, I think that you have to have a mindset to never be defeated, so it's really
Yeah,
commendable.
I think so too. I think too, again, for on our viewers, Shawnette, Francis, everybody who locked in, um, we are talking about breast cancer awareness here on Motivational Monday for the whole month. I'm going to try to bring her back in. Hold on a second. Uh, One moment. Let's see. If I don't get her on, I'll bring her on WhatsApp because I don't know. Okay, Claudette, I'm gonna call you on WhatsApp. Yeah. Hold on. Hello?
Hi, Phyllis.
Hi there. Okay, you hear me?
I was trying here, but I don't know what happened. It was not allowing me to get in. I don't know how come.
I don't know. Normally you just press the link, but nevertheless, we still have you here. I want to commend you on that article. I think when I read it, it really touched me. I know that you are in remission and you could tell your story. So go ahead.
What is that, Phyllis?
I say you could go ahead now with your story. I was reading your article and very touched by it, especially the support and the comments from your husband. I think a lot of people when they're going through any type of cancer, the support is very important.
Yes, it is. So good night again, and good night to all the listeners. Well, you would more or less cover a good bit of the story that was in the article on the newspapers. So again, I am Claudette Stewart, and I'm a 12-year breast cancer survivor.
Yay! Yes.
I'm a wife and a mother of 2. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I was at the age of 43.
Mm-hmm.
I had cancer in my right breast, but I chose to remove my both breasts.
Right.
Reason being, the breast that I found the cancer in, it wasn't really the breast that I was concerned about.
Right.
So when my doctor told me that, when I tell her, I said, well, this is not the breast I was concerned about. She told me when we in theater, she will do a biopsy on the other breast. And I told her, no, time for biopsy gone.
Right.
I want you to remove both breasts. Now, normally doctors not allow to remove your breast like that with no trace of cancer. You must have some proof, at least 90%, to show that the cancer will come back in that breast.
Right.
But one of the reasons that I remove it, like I said, I was concerned about that breast. And 2, when my doctor took my age into consideration, she told me that when I told her that I wanted the both breasts removed, she told me she wanted me to look up something called a tram flap. But that's the surgery that I did.
Okay.
And when I told her yes, that I am interested, she told me, well, she will have to get permission from the chief medical officer for the surgeon to get the okay to remove the other breast for me to be able to do that surgery.
Right.
Because they normally will tell you it is against the law to remove the breast with nothing wrong, being wrong with the breast.
Can you pause for a bit there? Did you speak to your husband before making that decision? One, and two, I think that I commend you for doing that, because I had a friend in the past who did one and it spread to the other, and she's not here today. So I want to commend you on making that choice and going to that gut feeling that you had to remove both.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yes, I did discuss it. As a matter of fact, Phyllis, every step that I took along my journey, my husband was there with me. And every decision, every test that I had to go to, he was there with me.
Thank
Either
God.
he or my big daughter would go with me.
Right.
So I did nothing alone. So even when she asked me to read it up, I read it up and I asked him to even take a read at it. And his reaction is like, what I want. If I am comfortable with that,
Right.
he is comfortable with that, because he wants me to be comfortable.
Right.
So when I tell him, well, okay, I don't mind, doing it, because when I look it up, I would go through it. So he said, no problem. And I had 100% support from him.
Very good. I think that
My,
I think you know what too, Claudette, a lot of people doesn't have that support that you had, and I want to
Yes,
commend your whole family, because it takes a village, you know what I mean? But not everyone
Yeah.
have that support. And I read the part too about the nipples part or something like that, right? You could talk about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because being your journey to really be a survivor too, you really need that strong support.
Right.
That is very important. That is very important. That support from friends and family is also important.
Right.
So getting back to my story, my surgery took 9 hours. One of the reasons to why my doctor was hesitant to do that surgery is she was looking at the length of time that I would be in theater. She was worried that I could develop blood. So
Right.
she was a bit worried about that. So we did put everything in place for in case anything would swing in that direction.
Right.
After my surgery, I had 6 cycles of chemo.
Right.
I had to go back into theater to put in a port to be able to receive the chemo, because normally they will give you the chemo, the vein in the hand, but mine was giving trouble.
Right.
So I had to go back in to put a port. That is where they put it. It's a little wrong, like a little box wrong.
Yeah.
Just under the first layer of your skin.
Okay.
Where they would inject and distribute the chemo.
Nice.
Through it. Mm-hmm.
Now, your story is so different, because a lot of people go through the after effects with the vomiting, the losing hair, the nauseousness. You never had any symptoms like that.
No, none whatsoever, because even my doctor used to tell me, she said, Claudia, because I did my chemo right in Petrotrin in Augusta Slum. Right. And she used to say, Claudia, when you have chemo Monday evening, I coming downstairs, I feel the doctor giving you water for treatment. She said, because I can't believe. Even the doctor, after after being diagnosed, they even provided counseling.
Right.
And when Reggie and I went to the first session counseling, and the woman was telling me they would advise me to cut off the hair, because they don't want me to be traumatized when it falling off. I say, I'm not cutting it off. I want to see it fall off.
Right.
Because it's an experience.
Right.
So I told her, no, I'm not cutting it off. And it's a good thing I didn't cut it off, because after the first cycle and the second cycle and the third cycle, every time I go back, I just look at my oncologist and smile, and he'll tell me, don't worry, after this one.
Right. So
after the first 3, they will normally change it and give you this last 3, it will be something stronger.
Right.
So he tell me, say, for me, a 4th cycle, He said that it will follow fear.
Right.
So after the 4th cycle, I look at him, I went back for the 5th, I look at him, I went back to the 6th, and I look at him and smile. And he just shake his head. And he said me, he said, girl, you're just one of the fortunate ones.
Right.
Because I never vomit, I never feel sick, my hair didn't fall off. When I do chemo on a Monday, I will go back to Petrotrin and get a injection from the 4th day, which will be the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday.
Right.
That is a Neupogen injection I will normally get on the side of my belly to produce new white blood cells, because you know the chemo will normally kill out good and bad cells.
Right.
So that is to ensure that I have that white blood cells. And that injection, they say you normally get deep bone pain from it.
Right.
And I didn't get any pain, Phyllis, none whatsoever.
God is good.
My mom used to look at me and she used to say, you sure you okay? I say, yeah. She said, you're sure you're not getting any pain? But she used to doubt me. My mom, like, she couldn't believe it. I said, Mommy, I good. When she called me, she said, where are you? I said, I on work. You on work? I said, yeah, working. She said, but how you could be working? I said, but Mommy, nothing is wrong. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Everything is normal.
Right. Yeah, I guess you are just one in a million, because a lot of people, you know, the stories when you hear it, the body can't
Yes.
take,
Yes.
you know. And I guess too, I like your team this year. Tell us a little bit about your team.
Okay, the walk.
Yes.
Well, myself and not a good friend of mine, another cancer survivor, Nombi Robert. She's a 2-year cancer survivor, and our aerobics instructor, Sharon Mason. We decided to get together and keep our walk, because I hold exercise very close to my heart, and it is very important.
Yes.
In surviving cancer also, because I remember when I normally would be doing my yearly checkup, and when I go for my bone scan, I would do a bone scan check every year, because after chemo and even being on tamoxifen, your bone does tend to lose density.
Right.
And I used to go to do a bone density scan and everything, and the person doing it, she looked at me at the end, she asked me, she said, "Does exercise?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "How often?" I said, "Very often." I said, "Why?" I asked my dad. She said, "Because she's seeing the signs of it."
Wow.
On the scan, because instead of lose, it was actually improving.
Nice.
So she was a bit baffled by that. So she told me, she said, "Girl, whatever you're doing, you continue to do it, because it seemed to be working for you."
Right.
But getting together to do the walk, trying to reach people out there, really trying to drive it home, to let them know how important, and not only to survive cancer, Phyllis, but exercise is supposed to be part of your lifestyle.
Yes.
Right? It's not only to look good, you know, but it's
Right.
supposed to be part of your lifestyle, your daily lifestyle. Not only when you find upon some weight and you want to take it off.
Right.
Exercise is very important, and I'm really trying to drive it home, because to get some people to come out and exercise, people look for a kind of excuse. The doctor tell them this, the doctor tell them that. Yes, it's true. To get out there to start an exercise, you're really supposed to get a full, clean bill of health from your doctor.
Right.
To get you okay to go and exercise. But some people tell you, my foot is good, my this, my that, my back is good. But I know some of them is just excuse, because I mean, it's take a lot from you to really make up your mind to get out there. But once you get out there to start, you know, it's no stopping. But to really to get to drive that message home, so we decided to get together and do a walk, and to also help some of the survivors. And this year we choose one of the survivors that from in our class, because you know they say charity begins at home, so
Right.
you have to start, because there is so many people that just under your nose right there, and people feel after surviving cancer, that's it. Being a survivor is very costly, because you have all these tests to be running yearly.
Right.
And then if you have any issue or complication, there's added tests that you have to be doing, because they need to be checking for this and checking for that, and it is very costly.
Yes.
So this year we had choose one of our surviving friend to give some of the proceeding to.
Very good. Phila, you have anything to add?
I do. First of all, we are so grateful to have you on
Yes.
and honored to be in your presence. I think your fighting spirit is so commendable.
Yes.
And I just wanted to know, at any given time, did you ever feel like maybe I'm not gonna have a chance? Did you ever feel like I'm not gonna get through it, or ever feel a slight sense of discouragement? Because I always feel that we hear all the time, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, and the mind is more powerful than anything. Do you feel that with God's blessings, of course, as number one in His will, that your mind really was the most powerful in this whole thing, your belief and your trust in God?
Not for 1 second. Never. I had that faith from
Mm.
the beginning when I wiped my eyes and I said, God, you deal with this. I am not dealing with this. And I never looked back. I never had a second guess. I was never worried or anything. Even today, looking back at it, at my journey, some of the things that I did and I went through, I and all myself, was baffled. But I never second guessed, and I never had that feeling at any given time, because that faith, trust me, I had it, and nobody can take that away from me, because I had that. Even one of my sisters told me, she said, you look good, you're really, really, really good. I had it from the beginning, and I still have it.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, because to me, I think that's a testimony that you can take, and anybody can use that, because that faith is really the key.
Yeah, because I cannot put it in his hands and ask him to deal with it and then second guess.
Right.
I give him it to deal with, and he dealt with it.
Right. Amen. Thank you for that. Thank you. Amen.
Yeah,
God
that
bless
is so
You're
commendable, because I tell you, I mean, and the part about the exercise, and I like how, you're pushing it and you want it to be number one. Philly and myself do exercise a lot too, but the importance of it don't have to be an hour. It could be half an hour. It could be,
Right, even in your home and all. Even if I don't encourage people to walk around in your area, because too many times I see people walking and dog rushing, then people have dog and the yard and fence around, and I afraid dog.
Right.
So I have a fear for that dog running out and rushing you. But it have a park, it may have a stadium, or you can't, right? Even in your home, you have step. Even if you're sitting and you're looking at television, it have little things you could do while you're looking at your television, or, you're moving around in your home. But it is very, very important.
Yes.
Eating, I mean, I am not a medical doctor, so I am not going to tell you, but I can tell you from my experience. They normally talk about eat healthy. Phyllis, what is eating healthy? No, I am being honest.
Yes.
What is eating healthy?
It's true.
Because down to the vegetables and all have the chemical. What I tell people, everything is in moderation. And portions, because we like to eat a full the belly.
Right.
And we know it's a bad habit. But everything is in moderation. My team of doctors, and I had a great team of doctors. None of my doctors ever stopped me from eating anything.
Right.
When I ask my oncologist, I say, what to say? He say, Claudette, you eat what you're accustomed eating. And that's one of the things, even with doing my chemo, I never changed my diet. He said, because you're going to change your diet now and put your body into shock. He said, eat what you're accustomed eating. He said, just make sure when you're coming to do chemo, you have something on your stomach. Do not come with an empty stomach. Wow. He said, girl, if it's piece of KFC, whatever it is that will stay down, I am advising you to eat it. Make sure you eat something, whatever it is. He tell me everything is in moderation. I drink and eat everything in moderation.
That's a good advice, right, Claudia?
That's beautiful, yes.
Because your body need everything. Your body need your salt and you need a little sugar.
It's true.
So you can't just cut off everything. So everything is in moderation. You're not going to eat one thing every day, So you have to watch how you eat and drink, but everything in moderation.
So on your walk, this year we had our first cancer walk. And my own was pretty in pink. In support
I saw some
of the cancer survivors too. And I know I was there last year with you guys. I happened to be in Trinidad around the same time. And that gave me, actually, you know what? First, I really wanted to do a fashion show. And I wanted everyone to dress formal and to walk the runway. That was my vision. But with time, I couldn't have that vision that I wanted to. So then I say, you know what, let me just do a cancer walk. And I think that, and it turned out very well. It was our first walk. Joanne was there, happy that she was in New York at the time to walk with us and
Yes.
stuff. And
Yes.
you know,
She
my
told me
niece,
that.
yeah, my niece is a cancer survivor, and she's the reason why I keep pushing, year in, year out, for, you know, for the awareness, because, and she had it bad. All the stuff that you didn't have, she have it, and I saw her. You know, I saw her with no hair. I
Yeah.
saw her vomiting. She used to be sick. You know, it's not an easy road, you know, for some.
Yes. Yes.
And that's why I
Yeah.
say, you know, I want you to come and tell your truth, your story, because everyone have a different story.
Different story.
Everybody walk a life is always different, but it's hope and faith that keeps us going strong each and every day, you know. And that's why I say your story can impact someone else who is listening right now. For
Yeah.
those out there who may have a little hope or none at all, what is your advice to them?
First of all, I want to say, listen to your body. Your body speaks to you. Listen to your body. Secondly, listen to your doctor. If you feel you're having second guess, a second opinion is great, is always welcome. If your doctor advises you to do your chemo or listen to your doctor. That is important. I listen to my doctor and I work along with my doctor. Sometimes you might be home and certain things might be running through your mind. Anything run through your mind, get a pen and piece of paper and write it down, because a lot of time you reach in front of the doctor, you might forget because you're nervous or whatever. Something run through your mind, write it down. So when you reach in front of your doctor, do not afraid to question your doctor. He's there. That is what he's there for. Don't let them give you anything to tell you they're doing anything without asking questions. Make sure you're comfortable with it. Make sure you understand what it is they're going to do. And next thing, do not keep this to yourself. Do not hide it. Most of the people that I know keep it to themselves and hide it are no longer with us. Right. Because stress is the least thing you want to be going through. Right. Because sometimes you're hiding it. You don't want this one to know. You don't want that one to know. As you come out and you find your neighbor watch you a little way, you're worrying, oh, I wonder why she watching me like that, or I wonder she might know. Because that is what some of them does be doing, you know. It have people out there to reach out to. I just tell people, I just give my number to a lot of people. Now, normally somebody will call me and say, Claudette, I want you to talk to so-and-so person for me. I say, well, yeah, what to do? Give them my number. Some people are private and I don't want to pry. If they reach out to me, fine, but I am not going to reach out, because you might call somebody and then they don't want to talk, and they don't want to open up to you. You have to want to talk and open up, because you can't force anybody. So once they call me, and I know, well, okay, they want to talk, and we move on from there. But please don't keep it to yourself. If it's one person's self, try and talk to somebody, like I say, and getting that support system is very, very important. That support system is very important. Exercise, like I say, take your meds, your medication. The doctor tell you to do chemo. Do the chemo. A lot of people like to say they're not doing the chemo, they're going to take herbs. I am not bashing herbs, but I am not a believer of it. Right. For something like, like that, because I have a friend that when she was diagnosed and she was a stage 4 and she didn't want to do the chemo and stuff, and she was going to this guy and she was taking herbs. And the cancer started on the mind, and it was getting worse till she ended up in the hospital. And I told one of her sister-in-law, I said, talk to Hannah, let me give her my doctor number, let her try it, tell her try it. And you would not believe today, that girl is in remission and she's doing very good after taking that treatment. So when sometimes you hear chemo and you hear radiation, and some people may get scared, yes, of listening to some people experience, but come on, everybody is not the same. Right. And everybody do react differently to certain things. And then everybody do not get the same chemo, because when you do your surgery, or even before, normally with me, when I did my surgery, one day remove the breast. This when they send that for testing, when that histology report came back, that tell me what I will tell you what type of cancer you had, what it was positive to, what stage, what treatment to offer you, if you need radiation or if you don't need radiation. So that is still everything.
That is good.
So
True.
I mean, that is some real good advice. But Claudette, as you say, so when you did the double vasectomy now and you see you have new breasts, how was that feeling for you?
okay, well, this is the thing, Phyllis. When everything did one time, so as they remove, that team of doctor move with all the equipments, and a fresh team of doctor coming now to do the reconstructive surgery.
So they did it
fresh
one
that is
time.
Tools. That is why it took.
Oh.
Yeah, 9 hours, one time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, one time. So it wasn't that I saw myself without breast, but
Right.
like when I did the interview, the person was asking me how I felt looking at my breast in the mirror,
Right.
you know, for the first time. And like I told her, I laughed because first time I saw a pair of breasts with no nipples.
Right.
And even to this day, I don't have any nipples because after I chose to not make the nipples, when my doctor told me how, because that day I was in Petrotron and I'm passing, and she run out room and she come and she said, Claudette, come and hear this. She said, you need to tell me when you're ready to do the surgery. I said, well, you have to tell me because, you know, you need to guide me. And she said, well, let me tell you first, how did this make it? And when she told me how did this make it, I bust out a laugh. And she said, I tell her, I said, really? I said, no, baby, I don't need no nipples. I could do without that.
Right.
You know, but we're on air, so I wouldn't really tell her exactly what it is. I tell her. And how she tell me that it really make that nipple.
Right.
You know. So, I tell her, no, it's not making any sense because, I mean, I have no intention of making any more children because normally, and this is another thing I forget to mention, when you do chemo just take you into menopause.
Wow. Didn't
Chemo
know that.
never take me into menopause.
Okay.
This year is I make my first year without having a period.
Okay.
After 12 years.
Wow.
First year. Yes, without having a period. After 12 years.
Wow.
You are a living testimony.
Everybody, this is why don't judge from somebody that and only look at the negative and say, you know, well, I'm not doing chemo because people like to say chemo, they kill you.
Yes.
Don't say it and don't look at it
as a
from
negative
that aspect because you could be one that could do it and
defy the odds.
Very good, you know, results from it with no side effects.
So far, you defy the odds for us right now.
Yes, all the time. Yep, a living miracle.
Living and walking miracle. That's why, you know, again, you're giving your testimony and I mean, your story and everything is so touching because this is encouraging someone out there who's listening, who is having second thoughts of, you know, everything that you mentioned. Because again, we're not walking the walk in the sense like what you walk. So, you know, so yeah, that is so commendable, I think.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because Philia, you have any questions for her?
No, I think she really answered what my about, you know, what I was inquiring. I'm just really honored and I'm so floored by this story. You know, every time I read it, I'm just like, it just, you know, you look at people and, you know, you hear these things, oh, don't put chemo in your body, it's a poison, it's poisoning you. And that it's not, but the minute you become slightly discouraged, you have allowed, you know, your defeat and your demise to happen. So I think the fact that, you know, Claudette has mentioned that she literally said, this is not on me. God, I'm leaving this to you and I'm not looking back. That was her first armor. That was the first armor to defy the odds. So every time she says something, it's like, no, not me. Nope, I still got my period. Nope, not my hair never fell. It's like, what? Yeah. It's like you keep coming back with more and more and more. And it's like, almost, it's not a joke, but it almost seems laughable because it's like, are you kidding me? Like, not even this, not even that. Like, how many things? Not just one thing, but she defied the odds for 5, 10 things. that
Yes.
you don't hear about.
Yes.
So never think that your story doesn't have to be unique. You have to really trust. And thank you again, Claudette. This is an amazing, amazing story.
Yes. I think so too. And tell us a bit about your husband. Tell me about his
Yeah.
support
This
because
wonderful man who had this
yes,
wonderful woman.
yes. We
Right?
have to big up
Right.
Reggie. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Phyllis, from day one, he was very, very, supportive. And everything and every decision, it was always, what you want to do. They would make sure, like, if anywhere I go in, and he will normally take me to all my tests, he go in with me. He's sitting down, he waiting, everything. Sometimes he would go in, especially like if when I go to my gynae clinic, he would go too, and my doctor will ask him, Mr. Stewart, do you have any questions for me? Anything like that. And he, if it's one thing, and as I always say too, I thank God for him being in my life, because Phyllis, to do chemo in Trinidad, if you have to pay for it,
Yes.
I mean, and any part of the world, because chemo is very costly.
Yes.
All these scans and tests. So again, I have to thank God for him being in my life, that, I was under his medical plan, that
Right.
I were able to cover all my, treatment and my surgery and everything.
Right.
And not only, like I say, the financial part of it. I know a lot of women who, after being diagnosed with cancer, their marriage
And then
break up, or their loved one walk out of their life. I don't
Yes.
know for what reason. I don't know if the spouses get scared. I don't know what it is, but I know a lot of people end up with a lot of issues after
Right.
being diagnosed. But my husband was there at my side from day one, and he still is.
Nice. Amen. Congratulations to you and your husband, and
Yes.
congratulations and to all your anniversary that you celebrated
Yes.
not too long ago also. But
Friday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. How much years?
Well, 28 years of living together, but 10 years of marriage.
Blessing upon blessing, That's a long time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Claudette, thank you again for coming on and just sharing the love. And we want to do this. That's why I dedicate October month for survivors. Next week I'm supposed to have Arlene on, so people could see that cancer is not a death sentence. Cancer, you could beat it once you say as again.
And I keep telling them there is life after cancer.
Right.
Some people feel I play my mask normal, I exercising, It's sometimes I wear something and my scars show. My girlfriend telling me, it's as that's okay.
Yes. Yes.
That is why I am here.
Yes.
It's okay. You may be down and out for a while until you recuperate, but things could go back to normal.
Yes.
I mean, you may not be able to bear children again,
Right.
Once you go through the chemo and stuff. Although I know one or two people do chemo and got pregnant after.
Right.
Yes, so there is life after cancer. It doesn't end there. And it gives you even all the more reasons to fight, to live, to survive.
Yes. I think your faith is what people need.
Great and very important.
Yeah. And I think once you have that faith, he said he will never leave us or forsake us. And you let go and you give it to God. And he's a living testament that faith works, and to continue just trusting in him and to give him your all. You surrender yourself to him and he take care of the rest. That's the message that I want people to know. Surrender your problems and your sorrows to him. Have a good support.
You cannot give it to him and then second guess.
Right.
If you give it to him, you give it to him.
Amen.
You can't give it to him and then wonder and second guess.
Yes.
And that is what I did. When I wipe my eyes and I say, Lord Father Jesus, I can't deal with this because I really couldn't deal with it because it was a lot of confusion going through my head at the point in time when I was trying to ask myself, well, you know, how I end up here, what
Yes.
it is going on. You know, you couldn't make sense out of anything.
Right.
You know, and I just wipe my eyes and I say, Lord, I can't deal with this because you don't know what to make of it. And that was it. And that was the first and the last time I shed any tear pertaining to my journey.
Very good. I just want to say thank you again for coming on to Motivational Monday with us. You're not a stranger. Don't ever be a stranger. Anytime you're ready to come on, I know you're a shy person. You know, each one teach one. Love in the house. Always continue with your, with your cause, and bigger and better things to come out of it. Philia, anything?
Yes, Phyllis, thanks.
No, God bless you. Thank you for everything and this motivation. Thank you for inspiring all of us and being a living, walking miracle. Thank you again.
Thank you, Claudette. So have a blessed night.
Thanks, Phyllis.
All right. Bye-bye.
And thanks for having me.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Anytime. Yes.
Okay, love. Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, Philia.
Beautiful
That was
story.
just a tremendous story, because you never know what someone is going through. Let me see if anybody had any comments, because I couldn't have read anything because I was on the phone with her just before we close up. Again, each one teach one. When we going through something, as Claudette said, don't keep it a secret. Let someone know. Share your story. Someone out there can help you. There's a lot of people who doesn't like to share the story. They don't want this one to know, that one to know. But as Claudette said, you have to let people know. That's the only how not everyone could fight that battle. You have to give it, Anthony, please. Give it to God, and let him be the one to take control. And that's what she did today. You understand?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I think it's a wonderful story. And not only that, I think her confidence is so admirable, and she said, not a sliver of a doubt did she ever have that she was not going to get through this. And I think that just goes to show that God has instilled so much power in us as human beings that our trust has to be impeccable. The minute we waver, and that's what she said, don't do the back and forth. You can't say let go and still be asking a lot of questions, So I think to me that is the answer that I was looking for, because I feel like my faith is so strong. But when you find somebody whose faith is even more impeccable than yours, it's something that you feel like I want to attain that type of faith. I too want to feel that. I too never want to doubt. So I think that, and it's just unfortunate for people who have succumbed, because it doesn't mean because they succumb mean they didn't believe in God. But I do believe that mind, body, and soul has to be in it, 100%.
Yes, I think that is very commendable. Again, I want to say for her strength and, her resilience, and God keep, touching her and protecting her and guiding her. It just gives us a sense of belonging and knowing that he will carry us through once we trust in him, and we put all that trust and not whimper or waver. She gave it to him, and he took care of her, that she's here in the land of the living. And for anybody out there who is struggling, take Claudette's story tonight, and you can go on my YouTube channel and listen to her testament. Sometimes I know we feel weak at times. We have a lot of voices in our head, but we just have to give it all to him and thank him for his goodness and his mercy. And he will never give us more than we can bear.
Amen.
All right.
Yes.
As I said, I'm in Italy, and it's 2:53 a.m. in the morning.
Thank you so much for being committed and dedicated.
Yeah, we have to always be a deliverer. What we say, we mean, and what we mean, we
Right?
say. You know.
Yep, absolutely.
Maria is saying an interesting and informative testimony. Claudia, thank you for sharing and
Yeah,
wish you continued good health. Yes,
yeah.
health and blessing. Maria, thank you for, logging on to Motivational Monday with us. I always say it's always morning in some countries
And
because
you're one of them.
I'm in one of them right now. But,
I also, Phyllis, I'm sorry, before you finish,
yeah,
it's great to commend her husband as well because,
yes,
if he was a dirtbag, a stress warrior, a worry wart, like, can you imagine what she would have had to deal with, dealing with a man stressing her and then dealing with her own personal,
struggle.
issues? It would
Yeah,
just have not been a healthy situation. So it also shows how God puts people in our lives and who, this is what, 28 years now being together, and
yes,
10 of being married. Like, it was not accident that this man was the man that God put for her, or
yeah,
vice versa, putting this woman for him, because it was like it's gonna show that in this amount of time, in these years, you guys are all lovey dovey, everything is good now. Wait till 20 years from now, what I'm really gonna hit you guys with.
right.
We never know what our fate is. All we have to do is again trust, and
Yes.
so we really commend him too, like 100% to be there, because
Yeah.
this fight was just not hers; it was his too.
No. Yes, it
It's
was
beautiful.
both of them and her
Yeah,
family. And
yeah.
that's why we always say it takes a village. So the villages we still have villages around,
We
you
all
know?
still do. Yeah,
Yeah. Maria,
beautiful.
enjoy Trinidad. All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Before we wrap up, you have anything else, Philia? You want to bless us with
No,
a little prayer?
yeah,
Tell
we
us
could
about
do.
how you're fasting, your 40 days fast going so far. Day, what, 12?
Yeah, yes. No, actually, day 7 now. It's day 7 of a no sugar fast, and during this wilderness fast, in the wilderness, you feel like God has forsaken you, God has left you alone, God is not
Right.
there. So we're using this opportunity to grow closer to God, eat healthier, so that we can nourish our mind, body, and soul. Listening to scriptures, reading scriptures, and also fasting, so that we can be a living sacrifice of the Lord. Um, this morning I flew in from San Diego. I took the red eye last night, and then I went
Good.
straight to work. And then from work, I went to a night school and ended there at 8:30. So I apologize to the viewers and to you, Phyllis, for not being completely present, but I gave
That's
as
all right.
much as I could, and I'm here. So I cannot wait to get into the shower and get
Yeah.
into bed.
Yeah.
But to that, I think the fast is really going well. I think we all should fast for something, so that we can show God that we can abstain from things that give us joy, so that we can get the joy in the end and eat from the land of milk and honey. And that's really what our goal is.
Very good.
Thank you.
I think
So
so. Well,
I
we want to
will I
say,
will
Claudia,
pray us
thank
out.
you again for being our
Mhm.
guest tonight and
Yes.
bringing this powerful testimony and hoping that it touched somebody's lives out there. And
Right.
please share the live, guys. Share my Facebook page is Phyllis Worrell, my YouTube page, Phyllis Worrell. You could go on there and just bless up somebody. All right. Love in
That's
the house always. Philia, thank you so much. Thank you to all my
beautiful.
guests who continually lock on, all my silent listeners. You know, I have them who don't like to talk, but they will tell me everything that I say on a Monday.
Exactly.
Love
We
you guys.
appreciate all of you.
Keep supporting. Love
Yes.
in the house always. And I love you guys. All right.
We
Love,
love,
love.
love.
All right, guys. Have a blessed, wonderful, and safe
God
week.
bless.
Love in the
God
house.
bless everybody.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Philly.
Bye, beautiful. Bye, Philly.
All right.
All right.